If you've been on YouTube for a while and are as obsessed with Donkey Kong 64 as I, then you may have come across this video. Cloud Connection attempted to beat Donkey Kong 64 while tagging between Kongs as few times as possible. If you haven't seen his video, I highly recommend giving it a watch, as it's really interesting and a pretty cool challenge. The production quality is also very good, and I want to shout him out and give credit where it's due. I remember watching this a few years ago and being impressed with how few tags it actually took to beat the game, but I also thought to myself, I bet I can do that better. This is what I'll be doing today, using my unhealthily vast knowledge of this game to beat it using as few tags as possible. For those of you who haven't seen his video, I'll give a rundown of this challenge and the rules. In this game, a tag is simply entering a tag barrel as one Kong and leaving controlling another one. This is the primary way of switching between Kongs, and this is the number we are trying to minimize for this challenge. There are 3 different times the game can swap our Kong without tagging, which include 1. Launching ourselves over the wall in the creepy castle boss fight, 2. Clearing each phase in the final boss fight, and 3. Saving and quitting and then reloading our file, which will always spawn us in DK Isles controlling Donkey Kong, no matter which Kong we were controlling before. These 3 situations will not add to our tag total, so we can use these freely. Also, glitches of any kind are banned for this challenge, because we are treating this like a casual playthrough a first-time player might end up having. If people want to see me tackle this challenge while using glitches, let me know. That could be an interesting, albeit very different challenge run. For this run, I'll be keeping track of my totals on the screen here, so you can see how much stuff I have at any given time. Also, don't mind if the totals here don't line up exactly with the in-game footage. I did some things out of order and forgot to grab certain items, but nothing severe enough to affect the number of tags used. With all of that done, let's get into the run. The beginning of this challenge plays out the same way a regular playthrough would. Because we only have Donkey Kong, we can't tag even if we want to. We visit Cranky, complete his training barrels, learn the Simian Slam, take a slight detour to pick up these 3 banana tokens, and head out to DK Isles. Once here, we pay a visit to K. Lumsy, whom we agree to help free, and he gets so excited he causes an earthquake, revealing the path to the first world, despite this not being connected to his little cage island in the slightest. Wait, how the heck does that make sense? There's no way he'd be able to cause a landslide on a completely unconnected plot of land, right? Oh well, I guess that's just weird DK64 logic. Anyways, this path also gives us our first gold banana, and we can use that to get past Bee Locker and reach the first world, Jungle Japes. Our first priority in Jungle Japes is not only to acquire Donkey Kong's new moves and collectibles, but also to open up the world for the future Kongs. So, first we do some vine swinging and press this switch to open this gate. Next, in the main area, we can climb this beanstalk and go to the first battle arena, Beaver Brawl. This is incredibly easy and gives us our first battle crown. We'll need 4 of these to beat the game. We then pay a visit to Funky and purchase the coconut gun. Shooter? Wait, I thought it was the coconut gun.
Here's the coconut gun. Can fire in spurts.
My life is a lie. Anyways, after swinging and blasting up this cliff, we collect our first golden banana, which then causes Diddy to beg us to help save him. Only after collecting this banana and hearing Diddy's plea do these coconut switches spawn in place. How does this work? Regardless, with the coconut shooter, we can blast these to free Diddy Kong. Apparently, when this happens, a golden banana appears out of thin air and Diddy doesn't notice, so he doesn't bring it with him, despite it announcing its presence with "Oh, banana." Also, Diddy just teleports out of the jail when we open the door. Why didn't he do that to bust himself out? Anyways, since Diddy didn't take the gold banana with him, we have to hike back up and grab it ourselves, and only then do the doors below the switches we shot open up. How does this make sense? Whatever, we head for this cave to activate the 4 pads and visit Cranky to learn the Baboon Blast move, allowing us to enter the Barrel Blast courses. I won't be mentioning collecting banana tokens unless it's relevant, but suffice to say, we grab enough tokens to purchase every move easily. Afterwards, we can shoot this switch and enter this crate to turn into Rambi. Using Rambi, we can smash these shacks and bust open this wall that conveniently has Rambi's face on it. Under these shacks are some switches, and one of them has DK's face on it. Slamming it allows us to grab this golden banana. By climbing up this tree, we can swing across to this platform and launch ourselves into the Barrel Blast course. Completing it gives us another gold banana. Also, by heading into this cave, we can defeat this enemy called the Kasplat, who drops a blueprint for us. Each world has one of these for each Kong, denoted by their hair color, and only that Kong can pick up the blueprint. Blueprints are useful for 2 reasons. 1, because each one we turn into Snide's HQ gives us a gold banana, and 2, doing so gives us an additional 60 seconds for the final level. I won't be mentioning going to Snide to turn these in, so it's safe to assume that if I pick up a blueprint, I turn it into Snide before our next tag. so I'll increase the blueprint and gold banana counts upon grabbing one. If there's ever a time where I can't do this, I'll let you know. With that, DK has all of his gold bananas in Jungle Japes, and we were also able to grab all of his colored bananas too. Again, I won't mention picking up each colored banana individually since that would take ages, I'll just mention how many I was able to grab. When we reach 75 or higher in a world, we also automatically get a banana medal too. Again, I will not be mentioning these, but I will automatically add them to our total when relevant. Having finished with Jungle Japes for DK, it's time to head to the boss. Bosses are going to be the main puzzle for this tagless challenge, as each boss gives us a key needed to progress to the next parts of the game, requires a certain number of colored bananas to access, and can only be fought with a specific calm. Most bosses require hundreds of colored bananas, requiring us to strategically visit worlds with multiple calms to pay the fee. We need to plan this so that by the time the calm required to fight the boss arrives, they can pay the final banana amount, saving us tags. Fortunately, since this is the first world, only 60 colored bananas are needed, and coincidentally, DK is the calm needed to fight the boss, so DK can pay the banana toll out of pocket and immediately beat the boss, giving us key number 1. Turning key number 1 into K Lumsy causes him to open this remote temple door with his happy dance. After trekking up there, we enter the lobby, and B-Locker requires 5 gold bananas to enter, which we just barely have, allowing DK to go straight into World 2, Angry Aztec. Once inside, we make our way down this hallway and shoot these coconut switches to open this chamber. While the game wants us to get the strong calm move and move through the quicksand, we can easily bypass this just by tanking the quicksand damage. This gives us a Kasplat blueprint and some banana bunches. Once in the main outdoor area, we can visit Candy and purchase the Bongo Blast, which comes with a free health upgrade. Unfortunately, this is where we reach the end of our journey as DK, as the rest of this level is behind this giant stone door that only Diddy Kong can open, so we were only able to collect 1 gold banana and 28 colored bananas in Angry Aztec. We hand these bananas over to Troffenskoff, leaving us with 92 colored bananas needed to access the boss, whom Diddy will need to fight. If we can collect 92 colored bananas with Diddy here, we can clear Aztec in one visit and go straight to Frantic Factory. One last thing we do as DK is to head back to Jungle Japes, not just to turn in our blueprint, but also to purchase the Strong Calm move from Cranky. We can do this because any move can be purchased from any Cranky. The game just checks the latest world you've explored to determine what you can buy. Since we've entered Angry Aztec, all Aztec moves are available from every Cranky, even though we haven't found him there yet. With everything that can be done, we now must use our first tag to become Diddy Kong. Our first priority as Diddy Kong is to collect some tokens in order to purchase our available moves: Guitar Gazump, Peanut Pop Guns, Chimpy Charge, and Rocket Barrel Boost. Next, Diddy can head back to Jungle Japes. Thanks to DK opening the level, Diddy should be able to grab everything he needs to. We can grab the banana in this entrance tunnel, defeat his Kasplat, grab the banana behind the gate near Funky, hit the mine switch to get the banana on top, and complete the minecart ride. We can also grab all 100 of his colored bananas. While here, we also make sure to shoot this peanut switch to open this gate. This will open a path for Lanky later down the line. We head off to Angry Aztec, where we can grab Diddy's Kasplat blueprint and then head into this temple to free Tiny Calm. This time, the golden banana is in the cage with Tiny, but she still teleports out without taking it with her. What gives? Anyways, as Diddy, we can swing to the top of the llama's cage and play the guitar, which opens up this stone door, leading to the rest of the level. Once we reach the second outdoor area, we grab Diddy's jetpack and fly around, freeing this bird and completing his obstacle course for a gold banana. We also hit the switch on top of this temple and feed the totem pole peanuts to open the paths to the 5-door temple. Diddy can clear his portion of it for a gold banana. We also Chimpy Charge these Gallons and collect the banana on top of the pillar that pops out, which also opens a path for Tiny Kong later on. We were able to grab all of Diddy's gold bananas, but tragically, we can only collect 90 of his colored bananas, leaving us 2 bananas short of reaching the boss. The issue is his remaining 10 bananas lie behind this stone slab leading to a quicksand cave. DK needs to open this, and he wasn't able to do so on our first visit since the switches behind the door Diddy needed to open. If we could have just collected 2 more, we could have potentially saved a tag. But oh well, at least we can deposit our 90 bananas off at Troffenskoff. Troff, you can clearly reach the lock, so why don't you open the door? We perform a file reload to play as DK again. Heading back to Angry Aztec, we can head to the new area and clear the Barrel Blast course. Doing so frees the llama, which opens up the llama temple and gives us a gold banana. We enter the llama temple and play the drums here, which wakes the llama, causing him to spit in the lava, which transforms it into water and opens up a gate. What? Swimming through here, we can free Lanky Kong, who also teleports out, leaving the gold banana behind for us to grab instead. We also hit this switch in the temple, which opens up the stone slab, blocking the quicksand cave, despite being completely unconnected. We can also clear out DK's 5-door temple for a gold banana, and strong Kong through the quicksand cave to get a gold banana and unlock the 5-pad warps. Thus, we have gotten all of DK's gold bananas, and we were able to grab all of his colored bananas too. After depositing the last 2 colored bananas to Troffenskoff, we use our second tag to become Diddy Kong again so he can defeat the boss and grab key number 2. Remember, there's no real point in becoming Lanky nor Tiny yet, because the remaining worlds are inaccessible until Diddy beats the boss, and using them at this point really won't give us an advantage. On our way out, we grab those last 10 bananas that DK has opened for us, and deposit key number 2 to K. Lumsy. His happy dance this time makes 3 Thanes open on Krem Isle. Since this isle is technically connected to K. Lumsy's, it's a tad more believable, but still dumb. This opens up both Frantic Factory and Gloomy Galleon. We don't have enough gold bananas to access Gloomy Galleon, but we can enter Frantic Factory, so Diddy climbs up and goes in. Diddy is able to open up most of the factory on his own, with the only real exception being the production room that DK needs to power up. Otherwise, we make a beeline for the shops and purchase the Simian Spreen ability from Cranky, and the first ammo belt from Funky. We can grab the gold bananas for getting the Kasplat blueprint, climbing the block tower, typing in the secret codes, and beating Beaver Bowder. We are also able to grab 85 of Diddy's colored bananas, but the remaining ones and his last gold banana are high in the production room, which DK needs to power up in order to reach. Still, we deposit these colored bananas at Troffenskoff, leaving us needing 115 bananas to access the boss. Now that we have the Simian Spreen, we can head to Snides in Krem Isle and use it to complete Batty Barrel Bandit for a gold banana. Unfortunately, we still don't have enough gold bananas to enter Gloomy Galleon, so we now file reload to play as DK again. As DK, we immediately head to Frantic Factory, and once we purchase the Gorilla Grab from Cranky, we can power up the production room, allowing us to climb up it. Once this is done, we can grab his gold bananas for powering the production room, going through the production machine, defeating his Kasplat, counting to 16, and completing the DK Arcade. We also beat the DK Arcade a second time to get the Nintendo coin. While we're here, we can also pull this lever to open these grates, allowing us to complete the Arena Ambush Battle Arena to get our second Battle Crown. We also collected all 100 of DK's colored bananas here, which we hand over to Troffenskoff, leaving us only needing 15 bananas to access the boss. After leaving the factory, we can pull this lever and play the drums to get a gold banana from Squawks, and we fall on this platform and shoot this switch to get another one. We now have exceeded the 30 gold bananas we need to enter Gloomy Galleon, so we head on in. Once inside, we can shoot these switches to open up the gate leading to the lighthouse area. This is a key area, so it's a good thing we opened it immediately for the other Kongs. We can now light the lighthouse and grab the gold banana inside, and complete the Barrel Blast course to free this seal. There's no reward right now, but we will get one later. Unfortunately, that's the only gold banana we can get, since most of the levels behind this gate needing Diddy to open up. Having said that, we did collect a surprising 65 colored bananas despite being locked out of almost half the level, so we feed these to the gluttonous hippo. We've exhausted our options as DK, so we need to tag again, and we need to think about who to become next. Our next priority is to defeat the boss of Gloomy Galleon, as that boss gives us the key to World 5. Lanky needs to fight the boss, but we still need 185 colored bananas to access it, so even if we became him, we can't reach the boss yet. Tiny could fight the boss of Frantic Factory if she goes, but that key doesn't actually unlock any new worlds, it's just needed to reach the final boss. Also, with that gate in Gloomy Galleon closed, most Kongs won't be able to collect many colored bananas, so we actually use tag number 3 to become Diddy yet again, just so he can open that gate. Before that though, we head back to Frantic Factory, and with the production room powered, we can grab Diddy's last gold banana and remaining 15 colored bananas, giving us all of his collectibles on Frantic Factory. We deposit those 15 new bananas at Troffenskoff, which is exactly enough to open the boss door. Unfortunately, Tiny needs to be the one to fight it, so we leave this for now and head to Gloomy Galleon. First thing we do here is to shoot to open those peanut switches to access the main area of the Galleon. With this open, we can open the number pads and purchase the first instrument upgrade from Candy. We can grab the gold bananas for grabbing his Kasplat blueprint, firing the Gamepoint Galleon's cannon, busting the Mecha Fish, and clearing Diddy's portion of the underwater fort. We also can grab 90 of Diddy's colored bananas, but the remaining 10 and the last gold banana lie beyond a gate that Lanky needs to open as Ungard. After depositing the colored bananas at the Troffenskoff, we now need 95 bananas to access the boss. Before our next tag, we perform a file reload so DK can explore more of Gloomy Galleon. Thanks to Diddy opening this gate, DK can now grab the gold bananas from the seal that we freed by completing the Barrel Blast course, from the seal race, and from DK's portion of the underwater fort. DK is also able to grab 25 more colored bananas, bringing his total up to 90. although the last 10 are still behind this on-guard wall. TK's Kasplat is also out of reach, since it requires Lanky to open this gate and Diddy to go through and open the other 4 pad for DK to warp in. After depositing those additional colored bananas, we now just need 70 bananas to reach the boss, which Lanky should be able to grab on his own despite several of them being out of reach. We can now use our 4th tag to become LankyCon. Similar to Diddy, our first priority is to collect enough banana tokens to acquire his moves. Once we have 14, we can purchase the Arena Stand, Baboon Balloon, Grape Shooter, and Trombone Tremor. With these in hand, Lanky can first shoot this switch in DK Isles to grab an easy gold banana. Next, in Jungle Japes, we can grab the gold bananas for playing Mad Maze Mall, opening this gate near the barrel cannon, defeating his Kasplat, playing Speedy Swing Sortie, and defeating all of these Zeners, thanks to Diddy shooting this switch earlier. We can also grab all 100 of his colored bananas in this world, clearing Jungle Japes for LankyCon. In Angry Aztec, we can grab the gold bananas for matching sounds in the Llama Temple, Arain standing up these statues and beating Teeter in Turtle Trouble, clearing out his portion of the 5-door temple, and shooting the bird in the Tiny Temple. After this last one, we can also clear the Critter Carnage Arena Challenge to grab the Battle Crown for this world, since the water drains in this room after grabbing the gold banana dropped by the bird, allowing us to touch the battle pad. We can also grab all of Lanky's colored bananas here. However, we were not able to grab Lanky's Kasplat blueprint, since that is in a portion of the Llama Temple requiring Tiny to go through, so she can open the other 2 pad for Lanky to use to warp in. In Frantic Factory, we can finally save Chunky Kong and grab a gold banana that he once again leaves behind without grabbing. We can also get the gold bananas for climbing the production room, playing Batty Barrel Bandit, defeating his Kasplat, and burping a lot. We can also grab all of Lanky's colored bananas for this world. Now in Gloomy Galleon, we first head to the lighthouse area, where we can use the on-guard transformation to break this on-guard wall and destroy these chests to grab a gold banana. Heading to the main area, we can also utilize the on-guard transformation to leap through this ring 3 times to open the gate leading to the treasure room. With this open, Lanky can swim in and float up this treasure pile and beat a Searchlight Seek bonus barrel to get another gold banana. We can also grab his gold bananas in his portion of the underwater fort and in his portion of the sunken ship. We can also grab 80 of Lanky's colored bananas. However, the other 20 are behind this gate that Chunky needs to bust open, and his Kasplat is behind this gate that Chunky needs to open with his pineapple launcher. Thankfully, the 80 bananas we collected are enough to open the boss door, so we go inside and defeat Puffdus to get key number 4. Once we turn this into K-Lumsy, he celebrates and makes an earthquake that breaks open this boulder on yet another unconnected island to reveal a barrel cannon underneath. Why is there a barrel cannon inside a rock? I don't know. Anyways, with this we can blast up to the lobby of the 5th world, and we do have enough gold bananas to enter, so off we go to Fungi Forest. Fungi Forest doesn't have much in the way of obstacles that specific columns have to clear, just this set of 2 gates that Tiny and Chunky have to open that leads to the Funky Grove, and this gate leading to the Apple Tree, which Lanky can open up. We also grab the Super Simian Slam, which lets us press the blue switches that will be in this world and beyond. As it turns out, Lanky is actually able to grab all of his colored bananas in this world, along with the golden bananas from his Kasplat blueprint, the 2 in the giant mushroom top, and the 1 for shooting the bats in the belfry. We cannot grab the gold banana for beating the rabbit race, since this requires the Arraign Stand sprint ability from the next world. While we're here, we are also able to reach the crown pad, complete the Kamikaze Kremlings Arena Challenge, and get the battle crown for the world. We also make sure to shoot this grape switch here inside the giant mushroom. This will be important for later. After depositing our 100 bananas at the Trophenskopf, we have exhausted everything we can do as Lanky, so we file reload and visit Fungi Forest as DK. DK can grab his gold bananas on the conveyor belt in the barn, from his Kasplat blueprint, from the nighttime barn with the roses around it, and from the barrel blast course on the mushroom. The last gold banana inside the giant mushroom cannot be obtained at this point, as we need each column to shoot their switch here in the mushroom to make barrel cannons appear to get the banana in time. We do make sure to shoot the coconut switch here for future use though. As far as colored bananas go, DK can technically obtain all of them, but the banana bunches inside the giant mushroom are a bit tricky. We're supposed to obtain them by blasting through here with the barrel cannons, but like I said, they don't exist yet. To get these bananas without them, you'll need to fall onto them from a higher place, which can be difficult since it isn't easy to evaluate the exact positions of them and DK's model in 3D space. Also, when we fall, it's a long climb back up, and we're likely going to take fall damage. With a little practice, I grabbed them all and deposited the 100 bananas at the Trophenskopf, leaving us needing only 100 bananas. Since Chunky needs to fight this boss, and we need the boss key to reach the next worlds, and we can potentially get all of the remaining bananas with 1 calm, you might think it's time to play as Chunky, right? Unfortunately, no. Regrettably, even if we tag to Chunky now, he cannot grab all 100 of his colored bananas here yet, since some of them are in the Funky Grove, which requires Tiny to open this first gate before Chunky can reach there. Thus, I believe it is time to use our 5th tag to become Tiny Kong. Her and Diddy would both work, but since we have more stuff we can do as Tiny, I opt to use her next. Our first priority as Tiny is to get 3 banana tokens so we can purchase the Mini Monkey ability from Cranky. This move is our priority because with this we can finally visit the Banana Fairy Queen, who has been crying for the last 5 hours about her missing kids. Only Tiny can visit her, and doing so gives us access to the banana camera and the shockwave attack. The banana camera is needed so we can capture the banana fairies by taking pictures of them. The shockwave attack can be used to kill tough enemies like Kashas and destroy these dirt patches with the DK letters on them. Destroying these dirt patches gives us rainbow coins, giving 5 coins to each Kong. After destroying all of these, we no longer need to worry about money. We buy Tiny's remaining moves, along with the homing ammo upgrade from Funky. In DK Isles, we can grab the golden banana behind the Banana Fairy Island, as well as grabbing the banana fairies on the green island next door and the one in the Fungi Forest lobby. In Jungle Japes, we can shoot these switches to open this gate leading to the secret grove. Now we can grab the gold bananas for defeating her Kasplat, going inside the giant stump, going inside the giant shell, playing Splish Splash Salvage, and opening this gate in the lagoon. We can also grab all 100 of Tiny's colored bananas here. We also snap photos of the banana fairy behind the Ramby wall, and the one in Lanky's Zener house by Ponytail twirling in from this tree. In Angry Aztec, we can grab the gold bananas for shrinking here in the Tiny Temple, defeating the Kasplat, clearing her portion of the 5-door temple, platforming over the lava in the Llama Temple, and beating the beetle in a race. We can also collect all 100 of Tiny's colored bananas in here. While we're here, we can also open this 2-pad teleporter for Lanky to reach his Kasplat later, and snap photos of both banana fairies. In Frantic Factory, we can collect the gold bananas for climbing the production room, defeating the Kasplat, shrinking in the arcade's drain pipe, playing a game of darts, and racing in the slot car derby. We also grab all 100 of Tiny's colored bananas and snap photos of both banana fairies. We also fight the boss of the world, Mad Jack, while we're here, and grab key number 3. In Gloomy Galleon, we can grab the gold bananas for defeating her Kasplat, clearing her portion of the sunken ship, clearing her portion of the underwater fort, exploring the sunken submarine, and returning the mermaid's pearls. We can also collect the banana fairy inside her portion of the underwater fort and 85 of her colored bananas. The remaining 15 are behind a gate that Chunky needs to open. Now we head to Fungi Forest, and our first priority is to shoot these feather switches to open this first gate leading to the Funky Grove. Next, we can grab the gold bananas for playing Speedy Sweden Sortie in the giant mushroom, getting her Kasplat blueprint, and defeating the claptraps in the hollow tree. The gold bananas for planting the magic bean and defeating the giant spider both require Chunky's help, so we can't get those. I also could only grab 54 colored bananas, since the rest of them require Chunky to reach. I deposit them at the Trough and Scoff, and make sure to shoot this feather switch in the giant mushroom for later. There's not any point in file reloading to become DK again, because Tiny's actions haven't really opened anything new for him, so we go straight to using our 6th tag to become Chunky Kong. Thanks to the rainbow coins Tiny collected, Chunky is flushed with cash and is able to buy all of his remaining moves right away. At this point, we have also hit the 15 banana medal milestone Cranky is looking for, so we can play his jetpack game to get the rareware coin. In DK Isles, Chunky can shoot this switch to get a gold banana, crush this boulder and play the triangle to have Squawks give him another, and get his Kasplat blueprint in the Gloomy Galleon lobby. While in this lobby, he can also Super Simeon Slam the switch to open this gate for Tiny in the future. We can also visit Snide's Cave in Creme Isle and move this boulder to play the Bish Bash Brawl Arena Challenge, giving us another battle crown. In Jungle Japes, we grab the gold bananas for crushing this boulder, exploring the X Cave, defeating his Kasplat, opening the gate near Snide's HQ, and playing Minecart Mayhem. We can also grab all 100 of Chunky's colored bananas here, fully clearing out Jungle Japes. In Angry Aztec, we can get the gold bananas for matching these jugs, braving the spinning room of doom, moving this giant boulder, defeating his Kasplat, and clearing out the 5-door temple. We can also grab all 100 of Chunky's colored bananas here. In Frantic Factory, we grab the gold bananas for climbing the production room, activating the pump room, playing the only Stash Snatch minigame, defeating his Kasplat, and defeating the Domino Monster. We also grab all 100 of the green bananas in this world. In Gloomy Galleon, we can shoot these pineapple switches to open the alcove to the cannon game. Next, we Primate Punch this gate down, allowing us to clear the More Critter Carnage Arena Challenge for another battle crown. With all of this open, we can grab the gold bananas for blasting the targets with the cannon, exploring his portion of the underwater fort, collecting his blueprint, busting into the Gameplank Galleon, and punching open his treasure chest. We were also able to grab all 100 of Chunky's colored bananas here, and while we're here, we can snap a photo of the banana fairy inside the treasure chest in the landlocked shipwreck. Now, in Fungi Forest, we first shoot these pineapple switches to finally open the pathway to Funky's Grove. We also shoot this pineapple switch inside the giant mushroom. We also need to make sure we primate punch our way into this barn and punch open this crate, which opens a path for Tiny to fight the spider in the future. With all of these open, we collect his golden bananas for helping the worm in the apple, completing the minecart challenge, crushing the steel kegs, defeating his Kasplat, and completing the wall puzzle inside the giant mushroom top. We also can grab all of Chunky's colored bananas, which gives us the last of the colored bananas needed for Troffenskopf to open the boss door. Going inside, we defeat Dogadon again in order to finally snag Key 5. With Key 5, we can open the paths to Crystal Caves and Creepy Castle, the last two main levels in the game. We now just need keys 6 and 7 to open the final world, and the end of the game will be in sight. However, the bosses of these worlds require 350 and 400 colored bananas to access respectively, meaning we're going to need 4 Khans to visit these worlds before the bosses can be fought. Minimum. DK and Lanky also need to be the ones to fight the respective world's bosses. DK's boss is easy since we can file reload to play as him whenever, but we need to plan on tagging as Lanky to get those last Creepy Castle bananas. First, we head for Creepy Castle. Despite it being World 7 and not 6, we want to go here first, mainly to get all of the available moves and upgrades at once. Inside this level, we can purchase the second ammo belt, sniper mode, the third melon, the second instrument upgrade, Gorilla Gone, and the super duper Simian Slam. Creepy Castle is one of the most open levels in the game, with little in the way of Khan-specific obstacles. As Chunky, we can grab the gold bananas in the coffin room of the catacombs, from his Kasplat blueprint, in the museum, and in the creepy old shed. We can also grab 85 out of his 100 colored bananas, but the remaining 15 and his last gold banana are inside this giant tree, which can't be accessed without DK completing his Barrel Blast course. Next, we head to Crystal Caves, and we make sure to destroy these ice walls in the lobby and in the level proper. These will stay broken and allow other Khans to pass through them. Chunky is able to grab his gold bananas for turning invisible in this cave, smashing this igloo with a giant boulder, playing with searchlights in this cabin, and getting his Kasplat blueprint. We can also grab 80 of Chunky's colored bananas. 10 of these are with Chunky's last gold banana inside the giant igloo, which Diddy needs to open, and the other 10 are in a cave that Tiny needs to enter first to activate the 3-pad warp. Once we've deposited our colored bananas to the Troffenskopfs, we have reached the end of our long run with Chunky, so it's time to file reload to play as DK again. Now, at this point, we've already reached the amount of gold bananas, blueprints, and battle crowns needed to finish the game, along with both of the special coins, so we really only need those last keys and the final moves. So from this point on, I ignore everything except the colored bananas to save some time. In Crystal Caves, since Chunky has punched open the walls, DK can collect 78 of his colored bananas, with the last 22 being inside the giant igloo that Diddy needs to open. In Creepy Castle, DK can open up the tree and grab all 100 of his colored bananas, leaving us needing 192 bananas for the Crystal Caves boss and 215 for the Creepy Castle boss. At this point, we need to tag to a new Khan. There's no point in becoming Chunky since he's already almost exhausted his banana collection for now, and Lanky we want to save for when he can fight the boss at the same time, leaving Diddy and Tiny as our options. They both can collect a lot of bananas, but each of them is locking the other out of some colored bananas. Doing the math, Diddy is locking Tiny out of more bananas than the other way around, so we use our 7th tag to become Diddy Khan. In Crystal Caves, Diddy can use his jetpack to open up the igloo entrances for everyone. Afterwards, we grab 80 of his colored bananas. Technically, we could have grabbed 90, but I forgot about the balloon high up in the cabin area. The remaining 10 are in a cave that Tiny needs to open for him by activating the 4-pad warp. In Creepy Castle, Diddy can grab all of his colored bananas without issue. After feeding Skopf, we now need 112 bananas for the Crystal Caves boss and 115 for the Creepy Castle boss. Since Lanky still can't get enough bananas to take on the Creepy Castle boss, we use our 8th tag to become Tiny Khan. However, I make sure to do this at this tag barrel after super duper Simian slamming the switch with Diddy to open up the ballroom. This allows Tiny to enter the ballroom before the door closes, which enables us to get a banana bunch in here that otherwise would have eluded us. This isn't strictly necessary, but I thought it was cool. Now that we are controlling Tiny, we can finally purchase her last move, the Monkey Port. This will be necessary to complete the game. With the Monkey Port purchased and Crystal Caves opened up entirely for her, Tiny can grab all of her colored bananas there. In Creepy Castle, Tiny can grab 75 of her colored bananas, provided we had Diddy let her enter the ballroom beforehand. Her remaining 25 require her to Monkey Port from the ballroom to the museum. Despite entering the ballroom earlier, we cannot Monkey Port there since we haven't purchased the move yet. We couldn't purchase it last time we controlled her, and if we bought it as soon as we tagged, the ballroom door would have closed. With the feeding of the hippo, this leaves us needing 12 colored bananas for the Crystal Caves boss and 40 colored bananas for the Creepy Castle boss. If we had grabbed that extra 10 bananas as Diddy, it still would have left us needing 2 bananas for the Crystal Caves boss, which Well, that's fitting, isn't it? So it wouldn't have mattered in the long run anyways. Our next step is to file reload and send DK back to Crystal Caves. With the igloo open, we can grab enough bananas to open the boss door and defeat Armadillo to obtain key number 6. Now we use our 9th tag to become LankyCon, and after purchasing his Arraigned Stand Sprint ability, we can easily grab the 40 bananas we need to fight the Creepy Castle boss. Now, I haven't discussed the actual boss fights at all, since it's not relevant for the specifics of this challenge. But remember way back at the beginning of this video where I mentioned the Creepy Castle boss provided a way to swap Collins without tagging? Yeah, we need to take advantage of that here. We need to make sure we launch Collins out of these barrel cannons over the walls until we are in control of Tiny, and then defeat the boss as Tiny. We will then be in control of Tiny, leaving the boss room after grabbing key number 7, which is necessary, as once we turn in keys 6 and 7, the Hideout Helm lobby opens, and only Tiny can reach this lobby by using her Monkey Port ability. This allows us to enter the lobby with only 9 tags, whereas we otherwise would have needed to use an additional one. At this point, we are in the end game, and it's a straight shot from the lobby to key number 8, but many tags will be needed. We can't leave the level, nor lobby, nor file reload to play as DK in here, as that would undo all of our progress. Remember, only Tiny can enter the Hideout Helm lobby, and file reloading puts us as DK in the DK Isles entrance, requiring a tag to Tiny to get back in, so file reloading to play as DK doesn't save a tag at all from here on out. We've done really well to minimize tags in this challenge, but that number is about to increase greatly. First, we use our 10th tag in the lobby to become Chunky, so he can Gorilla Gone and make these vines appear, allowing him to enter the final level. Once inside Helm, we need to use an 11th tag to become Lanky so he can Arraigned Stand up these slopes. Now we use our 12th tag to become Chunky so he can shoot this switch to open this door. Then we use our 13th tag to become Tiny so she can shrink and walk through this pipe to the Blastomatic chamber. We then use our 14th tag to become DK so he can Gorilla Grab this lever and make these rings appear. We then use our 15th tag to become Diddy so he can jetpack through these rings to open the gates to the deactivation rooms. Fun fact, if we fail to fly through these before the timer runs out, we lose the run. It becomes impossible to do a minimum tags run because we have to tag back to DK to pull the lever again, permanently screwing us out of a minimum tags challenge. With the steel doors open, we use our 16th tag to become Chunky so we can Primate Punch open these gates. Next, we use our 17th tag to become DK so we can deactivate his portion of the Blastomatic and open Chunky's room. We then use our 18th tag to become Chunky and shut down his portion of the Blastomatic and open Tiny's room. Now we use our 19th tag to become Tiny and shut down her portion of the Blastomatic and open Lanky's room. Next, we use our 20th tag to become Lanky and shut down his portion of the Blastomatic and open Diddy's room. Finally, we use our 21st tag to become Diddy and shut down the Blastomatic for good. Doing so unlocks this door, and Diddy can walk through, open the 4 crown door, open the final door since we have the 2 special coins, and grab key number 8. After returning to K-Lumsy, we finally set him free, which gives us access to the final boss. The final boss can be beaten as intended, and since swapping between Collins in this fight doesn't count to our tags total, this allows us to beat the game only using 21 tags. 21 tags isn't too bad when you consider that more than half of them were used specifically for Hideout Helm, and the rest of the game only needs 9 tags. Not bad at all. And we beat the current record by 4 tags, which I consider a win. But that's just if you want to beat the game. What if you wanted to collect everything? Every gold banana, every banana fairy, every battle crown, every banana medal, every blueprint. Heck, maybe you even want every colored banana too. Well, I'm curious too, so let's find out. Let's rewind a bit. To right here, right back at the end of our 6th tag when we finished controlling Chunky for the first time. Everything before this point will stay the same for a 100% run, but everything from this point on will change. Previously, we file reloaded to play as DK, but instead we're going to take Chunky to the Frantic Factory lobby so we can Primate Punch this crate, revealing a Banana Fairy and Tiny's Kasplat inside. We now have to use our 7th tag to become Tiny so she can defeat her Kasplat and snap a photo of the Banana Fairy. This right here is an example of something I call a forced tag. A forced tag is when we need to have one column do something and then immediately tag to a different column to capitalize on what the first column did. We saw this in our regular run in Creepy Castle, when Diddy had to open the ballroom door, and then we tagged to Tiny so she could enter before the door closed. Here, Chunky needs to punch open this crate, and we need to tag to Tiny because only she can collect her Kasplat blueprint, and if we left and came back later, the crate will respawn and the Kasplat will be inside again. There are several more of these in the game that are required to get 100%, so I'll be basing the rest of our tags around these as best I can. Most of them involve Chunky destroying something for someone else. Now that we're Tiny, our first order of business business is to purchase the Monkey Port ability and use it on Creme Isle to warp up to the top. Here we can play the saxophone to get a gold banana and a chunky barrel for later. We also get the banana fairy here. Next we return to Gloomy Galleon and collect our remaining 15 colored bananas in the cannon area that Chunky opened. In the lobby we can shrink and swim for this pipe Chunky opened to grab another gold banana. After that, we can return to Fungi Forest, and thanks to Chunky's efforts, we can collect our remaining colored bananas, along with our gold bananas for planting the magic bean and defeating the giant spider. With that, we're off to Crystal Caves. We can grab our gold bananas for collecting our Kasplat blueprint, braving the trapdoors in the cabin, monkey porting into the igloo, and not shooting the columns in this cave. While we're here, we also make sure to kill this giant Kasha to finally stop these accursed earthquakes. And we make sure to open the 3 and 4 pad warps. Diddy and Chunky will need these later. All in all, we were able to collect 4 gold bananas and 90 colored bananas, as everything else is inside the igloo that Diddy needs to open. In Creepy Castle, we can grab the gold bananas inside the trash can, on top of the undead zombie hands, for helping the turtles over the gorge, and for defeating our last Kasplat. We can also grab 70 of our colored bananas. The last of these, and our final gold banana, require Diddy to open the ballroom for us. After depositing our colored bananas at Troffenskoff, this leaves us needing 180 bananas for the Crystal Caves boss and 245 bananas for the Creepy Castle boss. Now we file reload to play as DK again. He can head to the Crystal Caves lobby and use his strong calm ability to grab this gold banana chilling in the lava. Inside of Crystal Caves, DK can grab his gold bananas for completing his barrel blast course, snagging his Kasplat blueprint, shooting the Xeners in the cabin, and completing the rotating puzzle in a different cabin. DK can also complete the Plinth Panic Arena challenge in here to grab the battle crown for this world. DK is able to grab, again, 78 of his colored bananas, with the remaining 22 and his last gold banana being inside his portion of the igloo. After depositing, this leaves us needing 102 bananas for the boss. In Creepy Castle, DK can open up the tree by completing his barrel blast course. Once inside, we can grab his Kasplat blueprint and snipe this target to get another gold banana. He also snags a photo of the banana fairy inside the tree while he's here. We can also grab the gold bananas for completing the Resident Demon minecart ride, completing his face puzzle, and exploring the haunted library. We also grab all 100 of DK's colored bananas. After feeding the hippo, we head back to the Creepy Castle lobby and shoot this coconut switch to open a gate leading to Diddy's Kasplat. Next, we use our 8th tag to become Diddy and grab his Kasplat blueprint. We make sure to kill the Kasplat from a distance because if he knocks us into the acid here, we fail the run as the gate will reseal itself but will still be controlling Diddy. With that done, Diddy will head back to Gloomy Galleon in order to get his remaining collectibles inside of the treasure room that Lanky opened a long time ago. Diddy can now head to Fungi Forest for the first time. First, we make sure to shoot this peanut switch inside of the giant mushroom. This is the last of the switches, which means the barrel cannons will finally appear inside the mushroom. Now, Diddy can grab his gold bananas for starting the pulley system in the barn, exploring the barn rafters, jetpacking to the top of the mushroom, defeating his Kasplat, and completing the Owl's challenge. He also grabs all 100 of his red bananas. While here, he can also snap a photo of the banana fairy in the barn rafters. In the Crystal Caves lobby, Diddy can jetpack to this cliff and play the guitar to get a gold banana from Squawks. Entering Crystal Caves, we immediately jetpack to open up the paths into the giant igloo. With this in place, combined with Tiny opening the 4 pads for us, Diddy is ready to grab all of his collectibles in this world. We get the gold bananas for completing his portion of the igloo, defeating his Kasplat, finding the waterfall's secret, lighting the candles in his cabin, and defeating these enemies in another cabin. He also snags all 100 of his colored bananas. He can also snap a photo of the banana fairy inside his upper cabin. After depositing our bananas, this leaves us needing 2 to open the door. Gee, where have we seen that before? We also need to make sure we jetpack to the top of this stalagmite and activate the 5 pad for Lanky later on. In Creepy Castle, we can grab the gold bananas for defeating his Kasplat, entering the coffin's secret code, swinging on these chains, jetpacking to the top of the castle, and partying it up in the haunted ballroom. We can collect all of his colored bananas and deposit them to the Troffenskoff. We now only need 40 to open the door. Now that we've collected what we can of Diddy, we head to the Fungi Forest lobby and shoot this mushroom on the ceiling to turn it yellow. We now use our 9th tag to become DK to shoot it and turn it blue. We then use our 10th tag to become Lanky and shoot it turning it green. We then use our 11th tag to become Chunky and shoot it to turn it purple. We then use our 12th tag to become Tiny and shoot it one last time to make it disappear and open this gate to reveal a Chunky pad. This is needed for a specific collectible and all of these tags are forced. If we shoot the mushroom and leave before shooting it with everyone, it will return to its default red color, requiring each column to shoot it again. With Tiny under our command, we can return to the Crystal Caves and get our remaining collectibles now that Diddy has opened the igloo. We also take a photo of the banana fairy in there too. After giving those last 2 bananas to the hippo, the pig is able to open the boss door. Next, we file reload and have DK defeat the Crystal Caves boss and grab key number 6 and get his remaining collectibles in the world, located inside the giant igloo. DK also can return to Gloomy Galleon to finally snatch his Kasplat blueprint and his remaining 10 colored bananas behind this broken on-guard wall. Then we return to Fungi Forest and get his mushroom banana at long last. He can also head back to the nighttime Thorn Barn and collect the banana fairy inside. We didn't have the banana camera when we went in here last time. We are now ready to use our 13th tag to become Lanky Kong and get most of everything else. First, we purchase the Arrange Stand Sprint ability, the final move of the game, and we use it to grab the gold banana in K-Lumsy's prison. Next, we head back to Angry Aztec and finally grab his Kasplat blueprint that Tiny opened up 17 years ago. Next, we head back to Gloomy Galleon and collect his remaining colored bananas and his Kasplat blueprint. Then we head back to Fungi Forest and race that stupid rabbit for our last gold banana. Next, we can head to the Crystal Caves lobby and grab Lanky's Kasplat blueprint. Inside of Crystal Caves, we can get the gold bananas for banana porting to his Kasplat, sprinting in the cabin, clearing out his portion of the igloo, beating the ghost of Bob the Tomato at a board game, and racing the beetle again. We can also grab all 100 of his colored bananas in this world. Finally, we head to Creepy Castle, where we can grab the gold bananas for dashing through the dungeon, playing Kremling Kosh over acid, defeating his Kasplat, exploring the greenhouse, and playing Beaver Bobber at the top of the tower. We also grab all 100 of his blue bananas here. While here, after grabbing the gold banana in the greenhouse, Lanky could take on the Pinnacle Palaver Arena Challenge to get the battle crown for the world. At this point, we can finally finish feeding Scoff and take on the boss of Creepy Castle. However, we're not going to defeat him yet, as we need to take advantage of the free Kong swapping here. As long as we're in control of Lanky, we can enter this fight, blast out of cannons repeatedly until we're in control of the Kong of our choice, then pause the game and select Exit Fight. This allows us to leave the fight as that Kong, effectively giving us the ability to swap to any Kong we want without tagging, at least when we're playing as Lanky. And as it so happens, there are quite a few collectibles for Lanky that require a forced tag, so we will get those now. First, we swap to Chunky Kong and exit the fight. Chunky can now grab his remaining 1 gold banana and 15 colored bananas in Creepy Castle now that DK has opened the tree for him. Next, Chunky can head back to Crystal Caves and grab his remaining collectibles there too. Chunky can now head to the Fungi Forest lobby and use his Gorilla Gon to finally access this second battle pad, and after beating the Forest Fracas Arena Challenge, we get the second battle crown for DK Isles. Chunky can also now use the Hunky Chunky barrel Tiny made appear earlier to get the gold banana from the X Isle. At this point, Chunky has gotten every collectible he can grab, so it's time for him to help Lanky get his remaining collectibles. First, we move this boulder near the Angry Aztec lobby and use our 14th tag to become Lanky and play the trombone on this pad. Squawks will make a Diddy barrel appear near the Fungi Forest lobby, which we'll have to use later. Now that we're in control of Lanky again, we head back to the Creepy Castle boss fight, launch ourselves into Oblivion until we control Chunky again, then exit the fight and head to the Jungle Japes lobby. There's another boulder here we can move, and then use our 15th tag to become Lanky and play the trombone again to have Squawks deliver a gold banana this time. We're Lanky again, so back to King Cutout, to Infinity and beyond, leave with Chunky, and head to the Creepy Castle lobby. We move another boulder, use our 16th tag to become Lanky again, use Baboon Balloon to float up here, pelt a Claptrap with some watermelons, and get a gold banana. Weird, it looks like we're Lanky again. Time to head back to King Cutout. This time, we actually will defeat the boss, but we need to make sure we do it as Diddy Kong. With Diddy Kong, we can then have him open up the ballroom door and use our 17th tag at the nearby tag barrel to become Tiny Kong so she can enter and monkey port to the museum. Here we can grab the last colored bananas in the game, snap a photo of the banana fairy here, and beat this reject Cars character to get a gold banana. At this point, we turn in keys 6 and 7 to K-Lumsy to open up the entrance to the Hideout Helm lobby. Since we're tiny, we can monkey port up and head in right away. In the lobby, we use our 18th tag to become Donkey Kong. Remember, we can't reach here with DK, so we can't file reload. With DK, we need to shoot this switch to make this bridge appear, so we can grab our Kasplat blueprint. This is also the only time in the game we cannot grab the blueprint and turn it into Snide in the same tag. Remember, if we leave, we'll have to tag back to Tiny to get back. So, we grab the blueprint, but not the gold banana that goes with it. After this, we use tag 19 to become Chunky, plaster these Kremlings with an obscene amount of watermelons, and grab a gold banana, then head into Hideout Helm. Helm plays out the same way it did last time. 1 tag to become lanky to arrange stand up these slopes, 1 tag to become chunky to shoot this switch and open the door, 1 tag to become tiny so she can shrink and walk through this pipe, 1 tag to become DK to pull the lever, 1 tag to become Diddy to fly through the rings and open the doors. Make sure you don't run out of time or the last 15 hours you spent getting to this point are for naught. 1 tag to become chunky to punch these gates, 1 tag to shut off DK's portion of the Blast-O-Matic, 1 tag to shut off Chunky's portion of the Blast-O-Matic, 1 tag to shut off Tiny's portion of the Blast-O-Matic, 1 tag to shut off Lanky's portion of the Blast-O-Matic, and 1 tag to shut off Diddy's portion of the Blast-O-Matic for a total of 30 tags. Also, during this process, we grab the 5 remaining banana medals from each Khan's shut-off room. While playing as Diddy, we can complete the Shockwave Showdown Arena Challenge to grab the last battle crown in the game, and snap a photo of both of the remaining banana fairies and grab key number 8. After turning in key number 8, freeing K-Lumsy and opening the final boss, we still have a few more fiends to collect. First, remember that Diddy barrel we specifically used a tag to make appear a few minutes ago? Well, we're going to use that to grab the gold banana behind this gate, and the one for saving the fairies from being eaten at the top of the island. Also, we need to head back to the Angry Aztec lobby because there's a bonus barrel here that we still haven't gotten yet. After Chimpy charging these Gauls, this barrel appears, and we use our 31st tag to become Tiny and Ponytail twirl in. After swatting a couple more flies, we grab a gold banana and then head back to the Fairy Queen, who rewards us for taking photos for her 20 kids' Instagrams by giving us the rare banana. There's just one collectible left to grab. To get it, we file reload to play as DK and turn in his final blueprint to Snide to grab the 201st golden banana, giving us everything in the game. We can defeat the final boss and finish the game with 101% in only 31 tags. 9 tags less than the previous world record. So, that's 21 tags to beat the game, and 31 tags to grab everything in it. Considering over half of the tags were forced to get through Hideout Helm and the regular route, and most of the additional tags in 101% were for the Fungi Forest Lobby Mushroom, I think it's safe to say this game does not have as much backtracking as people like to think. You certainly don't have to constantly swap between Khans all the time, you just need to route the game right. I truly do think that this route that I took has optimized this game as much as it possibly can go, and that there's no way to lower the tags needed for the any percent or 100% route, at least unless you introduce glitches into the mix. Having said that, if you have an idea on how to save a tag in either of these two different runs, please feel free to either leave a comment on this video or make your own video beating my record. I would genuinely love to see that. Hey, if you've reached this part of the video, I wanted to extend my personal thank you for watching all the way through. This is a challenge I've been planning for a really long time, and I've spent more time and effort on this video than on any other video for my channel. Between planning the route, getting the footage for both runs, writing the script, recording my voice, editing it together, and updating the counters for the video, I easily put over 100 hours into this. I hope it was enjoyable and that the work I put into it was worth the effort. I normally don't do this, but if you did enjoy watching this video, please leave a like on the video and feel free to subscribe too. I have plans to make challenge videos for other games in the future, and depending on how much people like this video, I might put a higher priority on getting those out in the future. If people did not like this video, then that's also fine, but I would just like to know that so I can determine whether or not to make similar challenge videos in the future. Thank you once again, and God bless everybody.